genuine complaint that your people want, yet you are not the candidate that was declared. So you feel there's a genuine dispute. Okay. Such people ought to ventilate their anger.
You mentioned the word rig. I was hoping that this word would not come up in this discussion at all today. Now, INEC has told us a lot, and INEC has been doing a lot, in fairness to INEC, to ensure that every election we have is better than the last one.
Yeah.
And we can see that a lot of effort is going into ensuring that the elections of 2015 are better than the ones of 2011. What are your expectations, judging from the preparations you have seen from INEC?
I think the bringing out this timetable now is part of their caution to make sure that they are getting things right, to structure things properly. And then let me see the aspect of the calendar. I don't know whether the calendar you have is the same as we have. The one I saw is saying that the presidential election should come first. I don't know whether
that is true,
important.
And that question was raised Professor Jega was asked the same question during the course of this week, that why is it that the presidential election came first? His explanation from there was that it's not just the presidential, it's presidential and National Assembly at the same time. What's your thought on that? I think,
yes, because I'm very interested in that issue, because that is part of the things that overheat the system, and that is part of the problem that we are likely to have in the system if you put the presidential election first. Presidential election is a very major election, and even the presidential candidates will be held to ransom by that arrangement, in my personal view. And let me give you my reasons. This is that there's a problem in Nigeria representation issues. Those who represent the people seem to have been alienated from the people. And these people give the impression that they are the owners of the grassroots. And the only way they can deliver themselves is by ensuring that the presidents walk through them, those presidential candidates. Now, the election of this year is different from the previous elections. And that's where INEC may need to tinker with that issue. Because the governors are very powerful. And the governors are the ones that determine these grassroots election issues. So if a certain presidential candidate is not in good terms with the governors, and the governors that are going now don't have stake, the highest stake they have is to replace themselves with their own candidates, because they are not going for the second term. Most of them, I think all of them are all going out.
They serve the second term.
So that's the peculiarity of this particular election. So they are not the stakeholders for the purpose of re-electing themselves, going with the bandwagon with the presidency to help the president get election, because they themselves will want to be returned. This is a situation where they are not going to be returned. The highest they can get is for the
but quite a few of them are looking for National Assembly positions. They want to become senators.
That is why I'm saying that the presidential election should not come first, in order to test the popularity of all those governors, truly to show whether they are
who will deliver and who will not.
Let them deliver their own candidates or deliver themselves at the national elections. By the time they delivered or did not deliver at the grassroots level, the presidential candidates will now know truly who are for them and who not for them. So it is not good for the people truly to get fostered with that heavy election. The president is the head, and you should start with the head. So by the time you start with, for instance, start with the governors first, governorship election. Leave even the and I don't want a situation where you are mixing governorship and National Assembly or State Assembly. The assembly people are representatives of the people. They are going into a species of governance and arm legislation. So that's why they are going. The governors are going at the executive level. So they have separate elections and they play different roles. So the state election should be separated. The National Assembly and the House of Assembly should go first.
National Assembly?
That's legislative elections, which includes State House of Assembly and National Assembly. Those are the representatives of the people. Let them go to the people and get truly elected by the people. Are you getting it?
So after that,
yes.
would you then recommend governorship election before you go to presidency?
Yes, I want a situation where the governorship election will take place first. All the state governorship election takes place. Leave the assembly part, because we don't want the governors to determine who becomes the assembly members, whether at the state or...
So you would rather the governorship first,
yes,
and then
the assembly both at the state and the national.
Next,
and the presidential election.
That's
which is federal.
Three Saturdays.
3 Saturdays.
As opposed to 2.
Yes, 3 Saturdays. That will help in this issue of hijacking or influencing electoral. Because if you want to cure rigging, you must look at it, the structural aspect of it. My view is very apt in this aspect, because is the fact that there is experience that the governors determine who becomes the legislators, the governors determine who becomes the president. And now at this particular time, the governors don't have personal stake because they are not going for it. So let those who have the stake run the election themselves.
So what do you think is the rationale behind the decision of INEC to have the presidential election first along with the National Assembly?
No, you see, it will create a problem of this, the election.
No, I'm looking for what you think is the rationale.
Okay, the rationale I'm thinking is I really can't figure it, but let me come from my own angle on determining what will be the outcome of it. If you look at it from this point of view, that if the presidential election and the National Assembly people are coming, remember the National Assembly people, all of them were agitating to be returned. And remember that at the local level, constituency level, different people have their own zonal arrangements. They have their own interests, rotational policy among their segments in their own localities. If you keep returning people because they want to help the president or help the governor, you will find out that you are upsetting the local system. One person has represented this community or this ward or this constituency, and is supposed to go to another zone within that group. If you return that same person, you have robbed the other people, and those people are not happy. So when it's flowing up, it's creating a problem at the downstairs. So that's why I'm saying that the INEC got it wrong with, I don't know their criteria or their own basis for that. But this is what is likely to happen. If the president, why should the president run with the National Assembly? The National Assembly people are the legislators. It is because of partnership. They want to partner together for success. And this